is day 2 of the 9.1 section on quadratics. Let's jump right in. If you remember your A, B's, and C's from yesterday, remember you want to make sure it's in the right order. So first off, A is going to be 3, B is -6, and C is 2. Since the A term is positive, this is going to open up. The axis of symmetry, remember, is -b divided by 2 times A. So that would be, since our B is already negative, -6 is a +6. And then 2 times A, 2 times 3 is also 6, so 6 over 6, which equals 1. And we want to write that as x equals 1. That's the line. To find the vertex, we're going to plug that 1 in to our equation, which is 3x squared minus 6x plus 2. Let's write it right there. Okay, so I'm going to plug in, that's going to give us y. I'm going to plug in 1 for all of these. So 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 2. This one I think we can just do it in our heads. 1 squared is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2. 3 minus 6 is -3. -3 plus 2 is -1. So that's y equals -1. But that's not the vertex. The vertex is x and y together. Remember, the x from number 3 was 1, and our y is -1. So the point 1, -1, if I graph that over here, 1, 1, -1 will be right there. All right, and then you're going to take that same equation and you're going to type in to your calculator, since we know our vertex was 1, -1, I want to go 2 lower, so 0, -1, and 2 larger, 2 and 3, and then type in the x's and y's for that. So I'm going to pause, fill that in, and I'll come back. Okay, so after typing in -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3 into the calculator, these are the y outputs that I got. And so I am going to put that on my graph. I'll have to scroll up and down here a little bit, but it looks like at 0 and at 2, we have the y value of 2. So 0 is at 2, and 2 is at 2, and then the other one's -1 and 3 are at 11. So I know it's off the graph, but let's just mark it anyway. -1 would be about there, and 3 would be about here. You can see this is a real skinny parabola that goes up like this if we graph it. Okay. All right, a couple other things we need to know. Does this one have a minimum or a maximum? This one has a minimum because it opens up. That's the vertex, right? No values get lower than right there. Okay. Since it goes forever upwards, there is no max. So I guess it wants us to write minimum. And then the value is going to be just our vertex, which was that 1, -1 point. The y-intercept. So you can do this a couple ways. You can look at your graph and see that it crosses at this point 0, 2, or wherever x equals 0 on your chart, that would be the point 0, 2 also. So our y-intercept is 0, 2. And then the domain and range. Domain for most of these is always going to be -infinity to infinity. And the range, since the range is the y values, the smallest y value that we have, if I go to the graph, is that, oh my goodness, is the -1, okay? But it keeps going up and up forever, so it's going to be actually -1 to infinity. That's how you'd write that. And since it includes -1, that's going to get a bracket. Infinities never get brackets. They always get parentheses. All right, so I think I'll stop here. I'll do a couple other problems on another video.